Good morning. Today is the 15th of July 2024 and I'm going to go through my checklist right now, my trade plan for today. Before we start, let's just take a quick look to see what news could be moving the market today, which is the 15th, and we've got Fed Powell speaking at 12:30. Gives it 3 out of 3, so that can move the market, and then we've got that's after market at 4:35. That's it really. So just be wary today of 12:30 if you're in the trade. So let's go back to the levels and let's pick up some levels for today. On my screen is the ES, and we're looking at the 1 hour time frame. It's the E-mini futures, and let's just reset. So I was away Friday, so I didn't really see what happened. So Friday we had a big push in, came in, created this lovely double top. Hopefully somebody saw that and took that last power hour trade. So I cleaned my levels up a little bit as well today. We had lots of lines. I'll just go for the main areas. I'm going to stick to the main areas really. So what I'm really looking for is a bounce down in this region. If we come down and we get close to this purple line, which is the 200 moving average, hopefully we get a bounce around 56.22 to 56.30. That's an area I'm watching. We saw a big bounce there on Friday, big move up as well. So we've got this area. This is an area of demand down here. I'm also watching up in this region as well, this region here, for a break and retest long. That's 5700, 5707, or if we see it setting up, I'll be watching for a rejection as well. And that's really my only two levels. If we've got something closer, we could watch this region here. Let's draw it better, rectangling. We could watch this region here, which was the pullback area. But there's only, we don't have much volume down there. There's a lack of volume, so I'm not a big fan of that area. I think the only place I like is probably this region down here. So if we get back down into that region, I'm looking for a bounce. Let's look at SPY. Okay, again, same plans before. Break and retest of the current all-time highs, which is 53, 63, 65. I will potentially watch this area again as an ES for a bounce, and potentially down here as well. I'm going to clear some of these lines off as well. If we get back down into this region, which is around 550 to 548, I quite like that for a bounce as well. And rejection wise, I'll watch this area like ES for rejection, but I'll be looking for a break and retest long. Okay, next up is SPX. We're watching 5600. We've got 5700. We can put that on watch as well for rejection, and we can watch 5600 for a bounce. Although you can see the last few days, 5600 hasn't really done anything, so potentially we'll remove that. The best place will be Friday's low, and you can see this looks better as well. As we went up into that area, rejected it, and then we broke through it, gapped up, and then we held it for quite some time, and then we gapped up, pushed up, came back down, came back into that area again. So 55, 76, 50, 55, 76 area I'm watching for a bounce, and that happens to be the 50 moving average in that region as well. So that's probably my area I've been watching for a bounce today. So let's put an alert in there. And again, I'm not sure what that means. It's due to have been based on a linear scale as opposed to log. Continue anyway. I'm not sure what that error means, but I'll look into that later. This is trading view. I don't normally get errors, can't remember putting alerts in. Let's put an alert in up here as well for the break and retest. Here we go. This alert may not function as intended. This is due to calculations being based on linear scales as opposed to logarithmic. And what have I got? I've got linear scale, logarithmic. Let's turn it off and see what happens. Put an alert back in up there for the break and retest. Okay, it's accepted that. Okay, I'm not really looking at the scales, I really look at the levels and anyway. So that's really the only two levels I'm watching really. Well, the only level I'm watching is for a bounce down at 55.80 to 55.76. Okay, next up is NQ. NQ is looking a bit weaker than the ES. We see we've been running up this trend line and then we broke it, came back, retested it. By no coincidence came back again and retested it there, like we did there. So we're still honouring that trend line, but we can probably put in another one now. Why was we put that in? Okay, so we have broken the trend line. If we were to look at that one, we could argue and say that was just a, you could use that one as well if you wanted to. So it's kind of holding that trend line if you use the main bodies of the candle, this double top. What I'm looking at for still quite like a bounce down in this area, 23.50 for a bounce like we saw here. We held it, poked through and we bounced from it as well, so that's an area to watch, that area of demand. And you can see over here we held it as well, good area of confidence, bit of volume. Potentially if we break above pre-market high and pull back, we can watch for a break and retest long. We've got the point of control in that area as well, so it's going to be harder to break down through that. And it's an area of confidence as well. We've got tops and bottoms of candles there. On Thursday we broke down, came back and retested that area, retested it before breaking through, and then we failed it again. So that's an area to watch, 26.30 to 26.50 for a break and retest long. Potentially we watch for a rejection, but it's probably already happened in the free market. If we get above Friday's high, we can watch that for a break and retest long as well, but it's also a rejection point, 27.41. QQQ, so 500 has got to be a big area to watch today. So let's just put an alert in. Reason I like 500 is a psychological number. We held it there, broke down, held it again for a bit and broke up, and obviously we've sailed right through it, but we came back in and we retested it again on Friday, rejected it. So I'm watching 500 for a rejection, and then if it holds, maybe a break and retest as well. And that's probably the only area I like today. If we get back down to 488, around this 200 moving average, then we can watch that area for a bounce as well. So this area here for a bounce. So 490 to 488. Crude oil next. So we're holding this level here. We've talked about this level a few times because it's a massive area of confidence. Lots of bottoms of candles and tops of candles, and then came in, rejected it, broke through it. It's kind of been hovering around. Then we held it for a bit, lost it, came back in, we retested it again. When was that? That was on Friday. And there we are. So I'm watching that area again, 83.65 for a rejection. That level was absolutely spot on Friday. I wasn't around Friday, I was hiking, so I missed all this. But that's a great double top, which I hope someone's taken. And then the bounce area, I still quite like this area down here for the bounce, 80.45. And we've got this period down to 80.86, so this region for a bounce. That's it really, only those levels. And we could also watch 81.78, area of confidence, tops of candles, bottoms over here, and we've got volume to the left as well. So we could see this as a bounce area as well. Just keep an eye on that. But my main watch will be a rejection up here or bounce down here. We're right in between the two. Next up is gold. Gold has done really well since we broke this trend line, looking really strong still. We've kind of got this pattern and we're holding this trend line. We've been holding it now since the middle of July, sorry, not middle of July, since the 10th through to the 11th area, and we've bounced again off it there. So I quite like the break and retest of pre-market high. Let's just put that level in, and that's 24.26. If we do break that area, there's a pivot as well, bit of a gap down area. We can probably get up to where that pivot was, and then we've got a free run really until 24.50, 24.46. Let's just put that level in as well, so we've got a potential target. And there's not much volume. You can see there's hardly any volume above. So if we do break this area, pre-market high, Thursday's high, we can run that up now all the way up into this region here, and we can just see it run up, and that's our potential rejection area. That's all there is on gold. RTY, which is the Russell 2000, been really bullish, really strong. And even on Friday and Thursday, I think, oh, let's get rid of that, bring it down. We were expecting it to come back down into this region, it never did. It's still looking strong. So let's just zoom out and see what other levels we've got. Is that all-time highs now? We're up at all-time high. We've made new all-time highs. So this is an area to watch for rejection. Didn't have it in originally because we were so far away when we were down here. I didn't think it'd get there so quickly, but it has. But we are extended, very extended. If we go to it on the daily, how's it looking? Yeah, look at that, we're pretty extended on the daily. Is it all-time? Oh, sorry, my mistake, not all-time highs, just recent highs. Got a massive area confluence here. So this region here would be a area that would be hard to break through. There's not much volume there. We have got a volume shelf above. This region here as well, 2400. So I quite like the rejection now in this 2250 area. Let's just see whether we can fine tune it. It's going to have to be that area, 2260 for a rejection, and that happens to be the top of that pivot and bottoms of all these pivots here. So and it's just an average area because it's really hard trying to find it in that zone. So we can watch that zone for a rejection, and that happens to be 22.90 down to 22.30, so that's $60 region. So let's just go back to the hourly, and we're watching 22.30. So let's just draw in a level, this area here, so just so we've got something to see when we get close. Big gap, and that's it. I think if it pulls back down, I do quite like this region as well for a, let's get my pen out, this region here for a bounce, probably as low as 21.31, but 21.40 to 21.50 area. So 21.50, let's just draw a level in. That 21.50, so that area is a potential bounce area as well. And then let's just do some fibs on this big move up to see if we've got anything close. And the 50% area, oh look at that, so area just at 21, oh no, not quite, 21.31, 618 is 21.13, so quite a long way off. We can watch for a pullback and a bounce. But there's nothing much I really like on here at the moment. Let's just look at YM. Right into this rejection zone as well. So we've got 40,610 for rejection, all the way up to 40,700. So this region here. Look on the daily. The daily gives a slightly different picture, a very bullish one. What I'm seeing is this pattern forming to come up, making a kind of channel in, and then it's either going to break a breakout or a breakdown. So that's the potential pattern we're watching. This pattern here, that pattern there, and so that's the levels we can watch for this area. This is a daily, so it could be a swing. Looking strong. Might want to break if it breaks out through the pivots from April. We can watch for a break and retest long, or we can watch for a rejection, break and retest along this upper trend line. Let's go down to the hourly and see There's any good levels for today. Got the double top from Friday. Hard to go short when it's so strong right now. But if we come back down into this region, 40,000, psychological number, that's the bounce area to watch. We talked about this a few times last week. Drew the level, bounced, look at that, came back in, bounced in that area. So I'm going to watch this area for another bounce. I'm going to put an alert in. And then maybe we can watch for rejections up here. 4,700 down to 4,600. But really want to get a trend entry rather than rejection. I pull back into this region at 40,000. That's really what I'm watching for. Bitcoin looking pretty bullish, broken out from this trend line, and it hasn't quite broken this pivot. So if we can get over this region where we are now, 63,300, then we could see a bit of a retest coming into up here. Otherwise, we can watch for the bounce down in this region here, 58,908. Look at it on the daily. I prefer Bitcoin on the daily charts. It's just a pullback as well, so there's no real. The daily, the hourly looked like it was pretty bullish, but the daily's looking bearish, putting in a series of lower lows and lower highs. We haven't broken that pivot yet, so we could reject back down, continue the trend. The best rejection area I can watch is 66,500, this area here for a rejection, and then the bounce. I quite like the bounce down here at 50,000, and that's it. So let's just quickly look at ES again, see if there's any moved in the last few minutes, and then we'll flick over to order flow. There's something interesting on order flow right now. So we have a bit of a delta at the moment, cumulative delta, divergence at the moment, but we do get some strange things happen before the market opens. So to confirm my levels, I'm watching the break of this zone up here and the bounce down here, and I may consider a bounce in this region, but I'll see what the market's doing as long as we stay above the 50 on the hourly. And that's it. Okay, thank you for watching. On my other stream I've got the live order flow right now, so if you want to watch order flow, then that's still live, and that'll be live to the end of the day. Okay, thanks for watching.